Hello, my name's Peter Wood and welcome back to my series of films called From the Garden. I'm a green woodworker. I run a centre called Greenwood Days. I've been teaching chair making and greenwood skills and pole lathe turning for about 25 years. So in this series of films I'm hoping to give you some of that knowledge. You all have other knowledge as well, stuff that you do differently and you think works well. Do share it with me, do comment below the line. I'll have a look, I'll try it out, it might be better than what I do, and then if that's the case I'll do another film and show people these different ways of doing things. It's all part of learning. I've got one more short film to do looking at the different tools that you use on a pole lathe. But before I start, I'd just like to say a big thank you to Z Outdoors. Look at his YouTube channel, Z Outdoors. He was very generous when I first started. I needed a lens for my camera and straight away he popped one in the post, sent it up to me, and I've been borrowing it ever since. Don't worry Zed, I'll give it back to you soon, but it's working well at the moment, so thank you very much. Do check out his YouTube channel. Check out mine as well. That's called Greenwood Days. Look out for that and subscribe to that, and then you'll know when I'm next putting up a film. Not the best at this, I'm still learning, so here we go. This time I'm going to concentrate on the spindle gouge, also known as the fingernail gouge. I'll put it up there, you can see that. It's a great tool. I use it mainly for roughing out, for getting all the curves and the shapes that I want, which I'll then use the skew chisel to smooth over. But it's very quick, it's very effective, and there's certain circumstances where that's the best thing to use. So I'm going to zoom in a bit now, and then I'm going to show you very hands-on. You won't see my face again, but you'll see my hands and you'll see how I'm using the spindle gouge. So I'll join you in a moment and hope you like it. Welcome back to my short film on spindle gouges. Here's a spindle gouge. You can get very thin ones, very thick ones, wide, long. Go for one which suits what you're turning. I've got a few just in case I want to do something very delicate or using a big one, but most of the time this sort of size does me. As you can see, it's shaped a bit like a fingernail. Nicely ground on one side. Hone it if you can, then hone it a little bit on the inside. Most of the cutting we're going to do is with that tip there, so make sure that's nice and sharp. The angle, it depends what you're turning. If you're turning greenwood, it's nice and soft, then lower the angle a little bit. If you're turning hardwood or turning seasoned timber, then really raise the angle up a little bit to protect that edge. A few basics again. Nice long strokes with your foot. You don't want to be doing lots of little strokes all the way up and all the way down, but try and keep that string taut at all times. I'm doing this left-handed at the moment. I'll do it again probably right-handed, but my left hand's holding right at the end of the chisel. My right hand is resting on there and holding the top of the chisel. That stops it moving from side to side. You might decide to do it that way round. That hand is still resting on the tool rest, and my tool rest is as close to the work as I can get it. So as we push down, we're putting the chisel on. Okay, nice long stroke. And the reason it's not digging in is because I'm rubbing on the bevel. If I raise it up, it's scraping. Bring it back down again, you get much more of a cutting sound. First thing we're going to do, to move that out of the way, straighten it up a little bit, is try and make a little groove in the middle. So I'm going to start by going straight in. But you can see pretty quickly I start digging in. That's because the corner on that side and the corner on that side digs in. So when you get to the point where it's digging in, raise your chisel to one side and then widen the groove. Okay, I'm going to start going back up the other side, and you can see I'm digging in on that side because I'm going from small diameter to large diameter. So let's come back from this side and I can turn it round and go back in there. Now this groove is a little bit wider, I can make it a little bit deeper, but I can see, I can feel I'm digging in there, so you've got to widen it. If you want a really small groove, then you need a small spindle gouge. or really curl it in. Now, that's a good little start, just dug in there, so let's bring it back down again. I could smooth that off with a skew chisel, but let's do a little bit more practicing with the spindle gouge. I want to round that over. So to round it over, I want this bevel to all the time be rubbing on the wood. All the time I see people coming around like this, curling it around. Can you hear it? It's scraping, it digs in, and that's because underneath you're not rubbing on the bevel. Personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the reverse to what a lot of people think. I'm going to start pushing that spindle gouge in and curling it round, so all the time it's rubbing on the bevel. Let's show you again this way. So I'm getting my cut, I'm starting to turn it round. Now as I twist it round that way, I'm bringing my backhand up. So round we go, and I'm creating a bit of a groove there. So I'm pushing that groove down until I get the shape that I want. Let's go round a little bit, curling it round that way. And I can go round this way and curl it round. I can go in and get a nice groove at the bottom, but really on that bit I'm going to carry on and do a little bit with the skew chisel just to smooth it off. Let's grab that there. There's another film about how to use the skew chisel, but then round I'll go. And give it a bit of a smooth. So let's go through that again at that point. We're looking at the spindle gouge. So we're going to go straight in. I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to start digging into the corners. So I'm going to come from one side, curl it round. On the opposite side, curl it around and make it a bit deeper. Let's do that again. Widen that groove. Follow the groove that I'm making. Let's come down that way, just to show you again there. Curl it around, and we've got our shape again. One last little bit. If I go too far in, I'm going to start digging into that waste wood. So let's knock that wood out the way. And round we go again. Digging in there, so we're going to knock that waste out the way. Some of the time I'm using just that very corner there, but most of the time it's the tip and working it round. Okay, we're back looking from the front. You can see I've got my hand resting on there, I've got my spindle gouge, nice long up and down, and my left hand is holding at the end, being left-handed. Right-handed, you're doing it that way, obviously. Let's push up and down. First thing we're doing is just getting a little groove, but I'm going to start digging in with my chisel, digging in with the corners. So we're going to start from the top, and we're going to start going down. And can you see how my backhand is describing what I say is a cone, going up and around. Let's go from this side and go up and around, and take that little waste away. So start from there, work it round, bring it right up, and in we go. But all the time that bevel is rubbing positively on the bit that you're cutting. I'm going to do it the other way round. I'm going to do it while left-handed. Let's push up and down, and round I go, And if I want to really come in, notice how my backhand comes really high. Let's come around this way, start there, round, up, got a bit of waste, so let's knock that waste out the way. And right in we go. Down we go. Curl it up, and in we go. I'm hoping this gives you some idea of how the spindle gouge works. All the time working from the top, bringing it down, bring it up, working from the top, bring it down, creating a bit of space for you, trying to work it that way and then that way, not bringing it round like that or bringing it round like that. Round we go, down we go. Curl it around, and I'm not trying to get a finish. You could get a super duper sharp, but I've got my skew chisels for that. And I can quickly knock it down. Oops, trying to take too much off there. Round it down and get it down to roughly the shape that I want. That is the spindle gouge. I hope you've enjoyed this film. I shall do some more. Do come back and join us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and give us some comments and tell us whether you like this or not. Thank you very much for your time.